Okay, so for this next DIY, I'm really going to try to keep it as simple as possible. So I have for you this here willow wreath. It's from the Dollar Tree. It's labeled as a wood blend wreath, but I call this a willow slash grapevine, whatever you call it, wreath. So to begin, we're going to start by removing that tag. And then I have some florals over here off to the side. And I'm going to try to make this glueless by just plugging them inside, the branches so that it doesn't have to take any glue. So I'm going to start by separating some of these picks as such, like that. So I'm going to get my trusty old little wire clippers here, and I'm just gonna go to town getting my stuff together first. Okay, so now that I have all my picks cut down, I think I'm gonna start with the leaves first, and I'm just gonna start sticking them in. And I really love that Dollar Tree did this like a mapley shade of leaf this year. I'm loving it because it lends itself so lovely to neutral decor. So I'm gonna try to just kind of, like, if you see what I'm doing, intertwining it with the grapevine. So if there's anything sticking out later on, then I'll clip it off. So you gotta kind of keep pushing and playing with it as you go and making sure it doesn't poke out too far. So I'm just gonna try to finish up all these leaves, and then we'll move on to the next floral pattern that we're gonna do. All right, so here's a look at what it looks like with just that bouquet of leaves on, just that one bouquet. And you could maneuver the leaves around if you want and try to adjust them. So now what I think I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna add in these. I think they're called amaranthus. Let me see, it's something like that. This one says foliage. Yeah, amaranthus is the name of these. And so I'm gonna try to stick these in next, and then we'll use the other ones as fillers. And in case we have to glue anything on, we have the base of the leaves as a pattern. So I'm just gonna go and start sticking some of these amaranthus in so that, they could kind of cascade down, because I want them to kind of billow down like that. So here's a look at what we got going on now that we've added those amaranthus. And I'm glad I only went with one bush, because if you look here at my mat, we got kind of a shedding problem here. And I predict this is going to be all over my house. So yeah, I'm glad I only went with the one. So now it's just a matter of plugging in our remaining little picks here and filling it out, and that will be a completed project. So I kind of like, I'm gonna put these sunflowers here, one in the bottom and one in the middle, but I'm gonna cut down this little stem so that I can push it right in. And so we're gonna do that here. We're gonna put one sunflower here. That's one. Open it up. And you gotta kind of play with the leaves a little bit. And we're gonna do the same thing with the other one. Cut down that stem. And so that one is there. So we're gonna put this one like right on top, sort of like in the middle there. Okay, here's a look at what we got going on with our two little Gerber daisies, one here and one there, the beads in the middle. Then I like these little flocking balls. So I think I'm gonna put one on the top and one on the bottom. So we'll just try to stick that in here somewhere and try to get it to go inside. All right, so now that we got those flocking balls in, I got one here, and one there. All that's left to do is put the two remaining pieces, which is this little pine cone and pumpkin. So I think I'm gonna put the pine cone down here in this empty space and the pumpkin maybe up here somewhere. So I'm most certainly gonna have to trim down the stems because it's a little bit too long. And I'm gonna put my pine cone right in here because we have this empty space here. So now that I have my pine cone, I have my pumpkin, and I'm gonna put it right here because this is the perfect spot for it, and I'm gonna try to get it in there, and that looks about right there. I'm loving it. And so you can stop right here and this will be perfectly fine. Sorry for temporarily having it outside of frame. But you can leave it right here and this is fine. But you know me, I'm extra. Sometimes less is more, but sometimes more is more. And so I have this little Dollar Tree. This is one of the metal tin signs. So I'm just gonna, well, for starters, I'm gonna cut off this tag and take it off. And then I think I'm going to tie it by the same jute. So what I'll do is I'll fold it in half to find the center point. And then I'm going to cut it right there at that loop. And I'll have two hangers. And I'm going to tie this around back and try to camouflage it into the florals. So if you can see what I'm doing, I just strung that jute from the pumpkin right from the hanger, and I'm just taking them around back and knotting them a couple of times right around that wreath. And the beauty of this wreath is that nothing is glued, so this is all a temporary setup and it can be changed out seasonally. And there you have it, guys. That completes this wreath. That's all she wrote, and I am just happy with the overall completed project and the way that it came out, and I will proudly be displaying this for the holiday season. All right. So I have this here leftover book stack decor from last year around Valentine. And so I'm going to be giving it a seasonal makeover for the upcoming season. And I'm going to begin by removing this shrink wrap and whatever embellishments it has on, like this here little buffalo check ribbon. I'm going to take it off and toss that to the side. And I'm going to be giving this a coat of this here Waverly ink chalk paint and giving it an upcycle. Okay, now, so here's a look at our little book stack that I gave a coat of that black chalk paint to. So now that I got it nice and evenly coated and I allowed it to dry, I'm gonna come in and embellish it a little bit. So I have this here leather leaf from the Dollar Tree that came in a 2-pack. It had a pumpkin and a leaf. One said thankful, one said grateful, or blessed, I believe the pumpkin said. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this around my box as such. So it's a little long, and if I tie a knot on it, my book stack is not going to lie flat. So I want my book stack obviously to lie flat. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to snip it right where I want it to end, and I'm gonna cut that piece off, bring it back around, and then I'm going to give this a pull, and I'm going to snip this one as well. So now my glue of preference for this one is going to be this here super glue gel from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to come in and I'm going to put a dollop of glue on each side. So I'm just gonna come in and I'm gonna add the glue directly onto that leather strap. And then I'm gonna press it down onto my decor stack and hold it in place. And I'm going to repeat the same step on the opposite side. And adhere it to my decor piece. All right, so here's a look at what we got going on and what it should look like once you glue it down. And I left it loose enough so that I could, you know, move my leaf around as such. So now what I'm going to be doing is I have this little roll of baker's twine from the Dollar Tree, and this came out around Easter time. I have it in my stash for a while now. And since it's black and white, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wrap some of this baker's twine around a couple of times behind the leather strap. All right, so I'm just gonna take my twine and I'm gonna wrap it around 1, 2, about 3 times. I think I want to wrap it. So we'll wrap it this way. And then we'll wrap this one this way so that we can cut off a big enough piece and tie it off. So now that I have it about where I want it, I'm gonna go ahead and snip that off. And so altogether I wrapped it about 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, yep. And so I like the way it looks like that. And now I'm just gonna tie it into a regular shoestring bow on the top. All right, so here's a look at what we got going on so far. And I did go ahead and double knot my little shoestring bow with that baker's twine. And so I just like how it looks loosely hanging there with our leaves. So now I did off camera go ahead and cut out a couple of decals. I cut out 3 words that I'm going to adhere to my book stack, and I'm getting glue on my hands. Okay, so for the first word here, we got the word gratitude. So I'm going to be putting it on the top stack, and I'm going to try to center that to the best of my ability without going under or over the line. And that looks about right. I'm gonna go over it with my little Cricut scraping tool, and then I'm gonna pull off that top layer. And our word should adhere. So we got the first word down. The next one goes into the center. So now I'm basically just going to follow suit with the second and third decals, just like I did with the one. And I'm just going to peel up that transfer sheet to reveal my vinyl. Second one down, one more to go. And this one is going to give me a little bit of a hard time, but I'm really trying not to peel up that fresh coat of paint that we gave these boxes. And voila, there you have it. So, and that completes this project. And this is something that can go well past the Thanksgiving and fall holiday season, because I'm grateful 365 days of the year. So this can stay out all year long should I choose so. And so I hope this inspires you to upcycle one of these little decor stacks from the Dollar Tree to make it an all year round decor. I have been waiting around since forever and a day for these little pickets to come into my Dollar Tree. And here's a look at what they look like from the back. They're just hung by a little jute. Unfortunately, I was only able to find the one, and I had an entire DIY in mind based on these little pickets. But unfortunately, like I said, I was only able to score the one. So we're going to give this little guy an upcycle and turn him into a piece of fall decor. So to begin, I'm going to come in with some of this here Waverly chalk ink paint. And I'm going to give it an entire coat and try to get inside all the little nooks and crannies. All right. Here's a look at that little picket once I've given it that coat of paint and given it a chance to set up and dry. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be embellishing it and turning it into a little fall decor sign. So I have these here gravel tiles from the Dollar Tree. These are from the Crafter's Square, and they're the black and white ones. So because they're black and white, and I didn't want them to get washed out with the black on the picket, I ended up getting some jumbo popsicle sticks and cutting them down to size. So I'm going to adhere the popsicle sticks to the picket, and then I'm going to spell out happy fall because I wanted to write hello fall, but there wasn't enough letters for me to, because there's multiples and they only come with 26 letters per pack, and I only had the 2 packs, so I couldn't spell out hello fall, but I'm going to spell happy fall. So that's good enough. So I'm going to be adhering my letters using my little super glue gel, and I'm going to adhere that down to my picket. So to start, I'm going to put a little dollop of glue on each corner of my picket. I mean, not my picket, my little popsicle stick, and I'm going to put a dot in the middle too. And I'm going to adhere this to my picket, because I really didn't want to mess around with hot glue for this project. So I'm going to glue that down, and then I'm going to be adhering my letters beginning backwards with the first and last letter, and then doing the ones in the middle. So as I said, I'm going to start with the first and last letter, and I'm just going to put a dot of glue on every corner and in the center, and then I'm going to adhere that to my little craft stick, and then I'm going to put the other ones in between. So now I'm about to glue the last one, and then I'm going to follow suit and do the same exact thing for the bottom one and the word fall. All right, so here's a look at what we got going on now that I adhered those letters to, and I like that I put it on top of that craft stick because it makes it look more authentic to the Scrabble board pieces, being since the Scrabble tiles are black and white. I like that it looks like it's on a Scrabble board. So now I have some of these here stickers from the Dollar Tree, and I really do love these stickers. Some of them are 3D and pop out, and then some of them are flat. So I'm just going to go ahead and choose which ones will fit where, and that should be the end of this project. That's how easy this one is. I think I'm going to put this one here. I like these white ones, so I'm probably going to be putting the white ones in the middle. And just like that, guys, I made my little cluster of pumpkins here right on top of the word fall. And that's all she wrote using these little Dollar Tree stickers that came on this sheet. And I'm loving the way that it came out. So now I have my little hanging wall decor to display. And it was that simple, under 5 minutes. It took longer to wait for the paint to dry, and that you could speed up by using either a heat gun or a hair dryer. And other than that, everything else was just sticking it down. So this is a under 5 minute, under $5 craft. And I hope I inspire you.